Good morning, YouTubers. Tsquare with Tsquare Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how could we ever barter gold or silver in a grid down scenario if we were ever to have one. And why I stack silver is not only for that slim possibility of a grid down scenario. It's if we just keep printing money and nothing bad ever happens, then silver's going to go up in price naturally, in my personal opinion. But we're going to talk about that in just 1 minute. But before we do start talking about that, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me, hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel, and after this video, be sure to go and check out our 10,000 subscriber giveaway, where we are going to be giving away a whole bunch of silver. And you guys are going to love the video. We're going to do it on a live video on February 23rd, which is this coming up Friday. So be sure that you hit that subscribe button. If it's after February 23rd and you're watching this, then you might have missed out on this one. However, we will probably be doing another one not too far down the road. We used to do giveaways all the time, and we are growing fast. So with that being said, though, let's get into today's topic. So the question came in, first of all, if a grid down scenario happens, the only reason you stack silver, if the only reason you are stacking silver is for a grid down collapse of the world's, like an apocalyptic scenario, like The Walking Dead or something, it could happen. I won't say that it can't happen. However, I will tell you that if you don't have food and water, maybe a pew-pew, some stuff to go with it, some other precious metals like copper, brass, lead, maybe other items that you might need in that type of a grid down scenario, then you might be selling yourself a little short. Precious metals in that kind of an environment could be barterable, yes. However, I will be the first one to tell you, and I've said it on numerous videos, that it's not going to be the primary want right off the bat. However, society will pick back up and things will get better. And if you did have to barter, people will understand this stuff will have a high value when the system does come back online. So that's why silver will play a part. Don't think for a minute that, oh, you're only going to want bullets, food, water. Hopefully you guys that have been following the channel have already started preparing. Because yes, only less than 1 or 2% of the world probably knows much about silver and gold and that type of stuff. However, how will they know that it's real? You can tell right off the bat that this is different. You can see when you look at the side of them that they're different. That's why I purposely got this sitting here, just to show that for that example. People could get away with fake stuff, unfortunately. If someone doesn't know what they've got, then essentially you're kind of at the whim. If you didn't take the time to educate yourself on that, then you're going to be at a disadvantage. Someone said not everybody has a ping tester. Not everybody has a Sigma. Even the Sigma will probably not work in that type of an apocalyptic down scenario. But with that being said, I don't stack for that reason. But we are going to talk a little bit about apocalyptic scenarios in a minute here. The real reason I stack is because I think everything is going to keep going exactly the way it's going right now. Some people want to call it a nice organized demolition of the dollar. An organized collapse of the monetary system that we use today. And whether it's intentional, whether it's being orchestrated by other countries against us, or whether it's the banking system knowing that this system is not sustainable. I mean, Janet Yellen even said the other day, this is not sustainable. It's not. And Jerome Powell said it too. It's not sustainable. And so therefore, once you know that holding fiat currencies is doomed. So that's why I stack silver. I think it's inevitable that silver and gold are going to continue to keep going up in price. But with that being said, on to the apocalypse scenario. One of the other questions that was stated was, how would you even trade this? We've seen numerous times in other countries where they do set up black markets for the stuff, and not just for silver, but for everything, because essentially the grocery stores can't or don't have security. They generally they don't have a whole lot, because the way it works generally, when a currency collapses, people don't want that currency. And if people don't want that currency, it's usually entrepreneurial groups, I will say, unfortunately, cartels, mobs, mafias, that will set up something where you can bring your gold, bring your silver in, and essentially trade for the items that you want. And then they will take the gold and the silver and they will send it off to somebody else, and they will trade it for more food than they had to give away for it. Why? Because they take 10% usually of everything off the top. If you don't think this is true, you can go online and look up these type of markets through small YouTubers that are just literally, 100 subs or small subs. I mean, you might find some even big subs. I just always find smaller channels. And I like watching the smaller channels because I see real firsthand what is going on in some of these third world countries. How they want jewelry, stuff like that. They want silver and gold ultimately, because it really doesn't matter what the silver and gold is, though. The question came up, well, with only less than 2% in silver and gold, what makes you think that people would even ask for that? Because here's the thing. Unfortunately, more than 2% have gold and silver. I would almost go out on a limb and say 90% of the people you come in contact with today will have some gold or silver. Now, the question's going to come up. How is that? What do you mean 90%? Where are you getting that number from? Think about it for a minute. Maybe you have a wedding band. That's gold. Yeah, you don't want to trade it. But if you're hungry, your spouse is hungry, your kids are hungry, would you not trade that wedding band? It's silver, it's gold. Maybe you have some other jewelry. I've met some girls that wear tons of gold jewelry. I mean, I have some gold jewelry. I have some silver jewelry. Not a lot of silver jewelry, though. Because I understand that it is gold. Now, I was lucky. I've said the story in the past about my first gold necklace and why I bought it. I bought it just to hang my gold dog. I bought it to hang my dog tags on a gold necklace. Somebody convinced me of doing that. They explained to me when I was not a stacker, and he happened to be a stacker. He said, no matter where in the world you are, if you get caught up in something and you can't find safety, that gold necklace will get you safety. I was in the Middle East when I had gotten that, and I believe that to be the case, really. And looking back at it, I think that was probably one of the best purchases I've ever made. I bought it as an insurance policy when I bought it. If something happened to me, I could trade that gold necklace that cost me a little over $800. It was 2 ounces of pure gold. And little right around 1,000, maybe. It was a little over 800, maybe 9, with everything. And sure enough, if I needed it, it would have. It was an insurance policy that I bought and paid for, but never had to cash in. What does that mean? That means that now 2 ounces of gold is well above my $800 or $900. I had a friend try to buy it off me. He's like, oh yeah, but it's used. It's not how gold and silver works. When you buy gold and silver, it is an investment. Some people say it's not an investment. It's a wealth preservation, but it kind of is. It goes up. Anything can be considered an investment if it goes up in price. Then the question comes up, yeah, but it doesn't, it only protects your purchasing power. And yes, that's true. However, when there is a frantic shift to move to precious metals, you could see it overshoot its fair purchasing power. So here's the thing. Yeah, maybe only 2% buys bullion coins, but how many people have some Morgan dollars or some silver half dollars or maybe some silver dimes sitting in a drawer somewhere, and the only reason they have them is because they belong to their mom or dad, and they've just been sitting there indefinitely for a long time? You know, these people have that stuff, and gold and silver has been money in almost every country I know of. So there's always going to be a certain amount floating around out there. Yes, people cash it in. I talked to a lady the other day. She said she used to have some silver dimes, but she had to cash them in. She actually had her gold fillings that were in her teeth pulled and then put some kind of an alternative in so she could get the money. I said, really? I didn't think people would do that, but she said that's what she had done. I was like, wow. She said there's a whole lot cheaper fillings, and when you had the olds, this is an old lady, the old gold. In the old days, they did gold fillings for their cavities. Now we use, I don't know what they use now. I don't know if they use silver or if they use some other metal. It's something to think about, though, you know. So with that being said, that's why gold and silver, I believe, is going to help you, even if we have an apocalypse. But I think ultimately, I think they're just going to keep printing. People are foolish enough and uneducated enough that they're not going to really realize that the dollar is losing value and that inflation is bad. Some people say they will when it gets really bad, and that could happen. Maybe when it gets really bad, people will snap and they won't want the dollar, and everybody will jump to gold and silver. But if it doesn't happen, it's not like you're going to be left out in the cold. I am happy with everything I have ever bought in gold or silver. Are there a few ounces that maybe I lost money because I bought them more recently? Absolutely. But most every ounce of silver, if I was to sell it today, I personally would have no trouble getting $1 over spot. I wouldn't sell it. Someone left me a comment the other day. Oh, I'd sell you all mine at $1 over spot. If you have 1 ounce coins and you are serious about that, then you can leave some comments, and I guarantee you there is a subscriber that is near you that would love to pay you $1 an ounce over spot. Now, if you've got kilo bars or 10-ounce bars, maybe you won't quite get that much. I'm not a fan of kilos at $1 an ounce over spot. But I still like kilos. When I pick up a kilo from a secondary person, I don't usually buy them, period, now, because I can get 1 ounce silver rounds at not much over spot. So, but somebody will. So post a comment in there. But so that's why I just wanted to talk about that. Apocalypse does not necessarily the only way that silver will go up. Silver is going to go up regardless. And in an apocalypse, like I said, food, water, security, your everyday basics, cigarettes, alcohol, condoms, that type of stuff. People are going to want that. So with that being said, we're going to wrap this video up. I thank y'all for watching. I hope